Okay, let's go ahead and add a little bit of sound and animation to our scene. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is after I've opened this up, I'm going to save it. So I'm going to go to here to File and Save As. And so it is the name that it was when you opened it up. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add sound to the end of it, or you could add animation, just so that you're adding another version to it, and that way you've got your original version in case something happens and you just don't like what's going on with it. Why not just have that extra one? So I just tacked on sound, and I'm going to say save. Okay, so now from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording some music. Okay, so I've gone to the internet and I've just picked out a really silly song here. This is this Pokemon theme song from Team Rocket. Anyways, so I've recorded that on Audacity right there. All right, and I'm just going to close up any extra windows that I have so I don't max out my computer's abilities here. Anyways, and so I've recorded that, and I only want about 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds on my little video here, and this is much longer than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the power of Audacity to kind of cut that down a little bit. So here we go. I like this beginning part. It's kind of fun. Okay, great. The middle part it's nice too, but I do have to cut some out. So I'm going to get rid of all this middle part right here. And if there's any doubt as if I've made a good selection here, what I could do is I could zoom in using my magnifying glass here and see, am I really on a good place? Well, that could be a little bit more over here, and then I'll zoom out. Oops, other way. And just drag that on over here, and I'll just delete that whole section. Okay, zooming in on that again to see if that looks smooth. It does. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of that. Okay, that works out pretty well. By the way, when they say Sonuts, that's in Japanese. What they're really saying is Wobbuffet if you're in English. Now, looking over here, I've got over 35 seconds. Remember, I want to keep it from between 20 and 30 seconds. And if I'm a couple seconds over, that's okay. But I think I can trim that down even a little bit more. So I'm going to go to the beginning here. Play it from the beginning. And so it does that bump, bump, bump like 3 times. I could knock at least maybe 2 of those out. So I'm going to listen. And so right here, they've got another one. Maybe zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, that's a good place to cut. And I'll just go from there to the beginning of the track and delete that. And I should have it pretty good then. So let's see here. Okay, pretty silly, but there it is. So, and remember when you're picking out songs, you got to be school appropriate. So anyways, I'm going to go here to File and Export. And I want to export that into my Sounds folder. So I'm in my Sounds folder. That is in my Scene Assets, which is in the 3ds Max folder, which is in your Student Drive folder. Okay, so all good. And I'm saving it as a WAV file. I'm going to call it Rocket Dom edit, because it's been edited down, and I'm going to save that. Okay, now back in Max, we're going to import the sound that we just created. So like before, go over here to the graph editors and open up the dope sheet. Yours already might be docked at the top here, but if not, we can dock it now, and that's what I would probably do. So I'm going to go ahead and first off, since I've got some extra buttons and stuff like that that I don't want, yours might look a little different than mine, but it should be essentially the same. And I'm going to right click here, and on the show toolbars, I'm just going to put none. And that gives me just a little bit more essential room. Then I'm going to dock it to my top here. So I'm just going to go dock and top. Now you guys have the whole other computer screen, so I would probably tend to do that. But anyways, but you could just dock it to the top here, and that's fine. So to add sound, I'm just going to go ahead and double click on the sound and go to add. It should take you directly to that sounds folder. If not, you can navigate there. And here is that track that I just made, that Mayumuki edit. And so I've added that track, and I can close that. Okay, so let's see here. To see the sound wave for that, I'm going to go here where it says sound. I'm going to open that up, and then I can see that I've got my song title right here. So I'll open that up, and I can see my waveforms now. Okay, so I'm going to make this 20 to 30 seconds, so I'm going to need either about 600 to 900 frames. If I look at this, I can get a pretty exact view of how many I'll need. So I'll go all the way over here to the end, and it looks like it's about 945, something like that. So that's what I'll do. I'll give it 945 frames. So I'm going to go down here to my time configuration and put in 945. Once again, yours might be very different than that. And just press OK. And now my timeline is matching my dope sheet up here. Okay, so I'm going to just zoom out a little bit on this just by rolling the wheel on my mouse. And I'm going to move over a little bit just by pressing down the wheel and moving over. That's my slider. And so now I've got this track into my Max scene. Okay, groovy enough, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just back here to the beginning and start animating a few things. I think the first thing that I want to animate is this water. That's not going to be too hard to do. So I'm going to roll this up a little bit so I don't have to see it so much. You see, I can just roll that back and forth if I want a little bit more real estate back here in my viewports. Anyways, and so the water, let's see where to start with that. I think I'll start by isolating the water. So here I've got the water listed right here, so it's easy to find. And I'm going to unfreeze it, and I'm going to isolate it. There it is. So now I'm just dealing with the water. Next thing I'm going to do to animate it is I'm going to go over here to my Modify tab, and I'm going to find a noise modifier. Okay, so there's the noise modifier, putting that on. And so what I can do is make that Z strength. I can go back and forth with that, as you know, and that's going to warp that a little bit. It's already been warped a little bit before, but now even more. So here, let's see. If I turn on my auto key and then I go, let's say, how about, well, let's see, can we time it to the music? That might be kind of cool. Okay, oh, and it's giving me all my stuff right here has now been into here as well. I'm just going to roll this all the way back up because that's the part where I want to my waveform. And so let's say I want those waves to undulate, and I want them to be kind of timed with the beat. So why don't I go ahead and right here, I'm going to raise this up over here. So let me see, let me close this up a little bit to give myself more real estate. And so on that z-axis right there, I am going to give it a little bit, let's say about 0.5. So that's half a foot. Okay. And then maybe here, looks like another major section. So by here, I'm going to raise it up even higher, maybe 0.2. Okay. Wait, let me back up just a little bit. So this is at 6. And I think, yeah, so 0.2 is going to be actually lower. I want to raise that up a little bit. So I want to raise that to about a foot. So I'm going to have 1.5. 1.5. So that's a whole foot and a half then. So that's going up higher. And then by here, I'm going to have it lower down again. And then by here, where it's really, the song is raising up, I'm going to go ahead and raise that up a lot to, let's say, like 3. So that's quite a bit more. And then down here, the next break, I'll bring that down to 0 again. And back here to the end. Should I raise it back up a little bit? Maybe a little bit, why not? So we'll go up to 0.5 once again. And then at the very end, we'll put it back to 0. Okay, so you can see it's rocking a little bit. Not too much. I wonder if I should make it a little bit more exaggerated. We'll see. But then the other thing that I can do, and this is kind of cool, is that the waves would be coming in, right? So what I'll do is I'm going to go here. Let's open this up a little bit and go to, in my noise modifier, I'm going to go to the gizmo and see at 0, it's going to be way back here. But at the end here, we're going to put it way up here. And you'll see what that does is it will give the effect as if the waves are kind of rolling in. So let's see what that looks like. That's kind of neat, but I do think I want to exaggerate that a little bit. So back here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pump that up to like 2. Okay, and this one here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pump that up to like 4. Get it crazy high. And then this one will back down. Here, and so that was at 0. Maybe even bring it down a little bit. And this is at 3. We'll bring this one up to 4. And this one was at 0. And we'll bring this one to 1. Okay, so let's see what that looks like now. Okay, that's kind of groovy, and it's going along with the music, so that's all good. That's what we want, so I'm going to go ahead and end the isolation there. Okay, let's see if we can't animate these trees now and see if we can make them look as if they're sort of going along with the music. So here, I'll move my slider over a little bit. And see, what I want to do is I want to start with a modifier. I'm going to use the bend modifier here. So come on down to, oh, where is it? Right at the top here, bend. Okay, and so let me see, I've already moved this over to about where that song is starting. So I think we'll start off with that. Will be at about that much angle, and so we'll put that at 50. That way we just have an even number. And as far as the direction goes, let's start it over here, maybe. Something like that. And so like on all these different beats, we want to kind of get it going. So let's listen for a second. Okay, so maybe right over here, sounds like, we can change that. And I'm going to bring that all the way over this way. So sort of opposite. Let's see, is that fast enough? Okay, so right about here, it should be all the way the other way. Okay. Then all the way the other way. Okay, let's go back just a couple of frames. So we're right on that beat there, and we'll make it swing the other way. And then maybe that will be the other way again. And then okay, so right to about here where it's kind of winding up a little bit, what I'll do is, see, move that, and let's have it get a little bit crazy here. So what we'll do is make it come back around 1, 2, 3. Will it do that? Let's see. Okay. So here at this beat again, we'll just bring it down. Oops. That way there. Okay, let's go back just a couple frames and have it swing in this way. Okay, right about there. Okay, and back in this way. Okay, and right on that beat, I'm going to go back in this way. Okay, for sure back this way here. Okay, and so back to here. Okay, and swinging that all the way over here. And then by the end, looks like I have an old keyframe in there. I'm going to take and I'm going to slide that first key. I'm going to go Shift and slide that all the way down. Okay, and back to the beginning. Let's see, how's that look? It's a little screwy over here. It doesn't seem like it's really following. What happened? Okay, from there it was good. Something happened with my angle, maybe? Is that it? Okay, good enough. So you think, well, do I have to do that for all these trees, or am I going to have just one tree dancing? No, fortunately it's a lot easier than that. So if I can just take this bend modifier right here and just clicking on the bend modifier, so it's blue, I'll just right click and go copy, and then I can just go down this list of trees and I can right click and paste. And that is going to paste that modifier along with all the animations right to those trees. And it's even giving me an option to paste an instance, so if I were to change the edit on one, it would chase it on all. Probably what I should have done, but we'll know for next time. And look at that, all the trees are gonna... Okay, and so that's just got my whole scene kind of going a little bit. I won't make you save it at this point, but that's probably a good stopping point right there. So I'm just going to go File and Save. I've already got that saved as sound, so that's brought that in. And so then I'm going to go ahead and quit this tutorial right now, and in the next tutorial I'll start bringing in the people and maybe the lights as well.